Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. So today we're talking about securing access to an element in a list. So just like I have discussed earlier how to access an element. So for instance, we have a list. We also have index inside, and each index represents an element. Uh, so that's the whole idea here. So write a function that retrieves an element from a list like in C. So prototype should be diff. We are going to define a function which is going to be a prototype that's in the main file. Uh, element underscore acts. That's the name of the function we have just defined. Then it's going to be accepting two parameters, which is my list. That's the first one, my list. Then the next one should be the index of that list that I want to access. So the first one is the list itself, and the other parameter is the index of the list I want to access, which makes life way more easy. So if index is negative, the function should return none. So that means we are going to be writing a function that is going to be checking for any stuff like that. So if index is negative, that means we have -1, -2, -3. So the function should return none. Okay, good. If index is out of range, that means the number is greater than the number of info we ought to have there from our range, then it should return, okay, is greater than of the number of elements in the list, then the function should return none too. So it's just going to be returning none whenever there is anything going wrong in our code. So without wasting much time, we're also going to test it, because we're going to look at this example to run it in another place to see how it works. So sorry, I'll come over to this. It's working actually. So I'm going to that, sorry, so that I've cleared the screen. Actually, this is where we stopped last. If you check this, you can see we have 0-main.py, we have 0-print underscore list integers, we have introduction.py, and we have underscore pycatch, like that. So we are going to be creating our new file, which we are going to discuss about, which is vim. So I'm just going to vim. So I'm going to call it 1 dash elements underscore at. So elements underscore at, just like that, .py. Good. So now we have an empty file in which we are going to start writing our code. So the first thing, as usual, we have our bimusr slash bin, then slash python3, just like that. Now, having done that, we go to the next line. So I'm going to define a function. So I'm going to call the function element underscore at. Element underscore at. Sorry. Like that. So that is settled. So the element underscore at is receiving two parameters, as we said earlier, my, then underscore list, like this. Then the second parameter is the index. index, so short form of index, IDX, like that. So we are going to block that for the next block. So now that we have done that, we're asked that if index is negative, the function should return null, none actually. So none means nothing inside. So come in. So let me see if I can return none. None. Good. I think I got that right. So actually I'm not returning none that way. I just want to see if it's going to be highlighted. So I'm going to write the statement. So if index, just like that, that means anything that is, you have minus 1, minus 3, minus 2, so anything that is less than 0, anything that is less than 0 is a negative number. So minus 1 is less than 0, minus 2 is less than 0, minus 3 is less than 0. So they are all negative number. Or the index is greater than, so the total number of lists. So based on the fact we don't know the number of lists that is provided there, so we are going to put everything in a length so we get the actual number. So I'm going to put length, length, like this. So the length of the list that is going to be provided. So as simple as that. So I'm going to return none. Just like that. And that have settled, sorry, not that, return, TURN, like that. Good. So that have settled the first case, because I've returned none whenever we don't get the correct or the desired output we sought or we're looking for. So now that's the first thing. Now, the next thing is we are going to access the list and the index, because that's what we want to get. So based on the fact that when you look at the stuff we have here, we are finally going to be at the other end. That means the other part that we are going to be using, we are finally going to be using a print function. That means in here we are using a print function. At this place, let me confirm that, by the way. We only use return whenever there is no print function here. So if you look at in our test file, the print, we are still going to print it out. So based on the fact that we are doing printing out in another page, we are just in the main page, we are just going to use return. The page, we are just going to use return. So I'm going to return. So what am I returning? I'm going to return the my list, my underscore list, then a square bracket. Now in that square bracket is going to be the index, just like that. So let me look at that very closely. Good. So I think that should be okay. So that is what's going to be returned to us. Now the next thing is let me test it here and see. So for instance, we have my list. So I like testing it here before taking it out there. My lists, is equals to so I'm going to create a list right away. 2 comma 5 comma 12 comma 4 comma 5. So that's for the list. Then the index, like this. So the index IDX, maybe I want to access the third index, or I want to access 12. So the index of 12 is 0, 1, 2. So I want to access 12. I expect 12 to be printed out. So, and I come in here and print. So I want to print some stuff on the screen. So let me use my format screen. Format. So in here I'm going to pass curly stuff there. Then I'm going to put the run the function in this. So the function is element underscore at, right? Then in that element at, I'm going to pass the first list, which is going to be my underscore lists, like that. I'm going to pass the index, which I've already set to 2 here, as index, just like that. So I think that should be settled now. So I expect 12 to be printed out. So let's list what we have there. So a new file. So I'm just going to chmod like that. Then u plus x. Then one tap. Yeah. So now you can see it's now executed. So I can execute it right away. Okay, so I think we have an error. Okay, I spelled elements in the wrong format. It's supposed to be elements instead of element. So let me correct that right away. So where I have elements, I need to come over here and change it to elements. So quit, and we're going to run that again, and you see 12 is printed out on the terminal, which is perfect. So 12 is printed out on the terminal. So you can go out there and still make other changes to it, but that is the actual solution. So if I try to provide index that is not here, know that the index here is 0, 0. The index here should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 should give us 5. Now if we increase the index to 5 or 7, let's change it to 7. So I'm going to change this to 7. So escape that, then let me run it and see what's going to happen. See, none is printed out because it's more than the index. And if, for instance, I provide a negative number, for instance, I come in and I put minus 1, minus 2, just like that. So when I run that, still none is still printed out. So you can see this work just fine as it ought to work. So you can go to the other page, because I don't want to make this video too lengthy. You can go to the other page and you use the main file, because I'm not going to create the main file. So but this is how the main file works, so you can manipulate it to how you want it to look like. So that is that for that aspect of it. So I hope you guys understand this. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and you share to your friends, family, loved ones, programming mates, and don't forget to smash the like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and don't forget to practice, which is very important, because watching this without practicing this is a waste of time. So make sure you practice, which is very important. So have a nice day. Ciao.